Our next speaker is also a candidate for vice chair of the CRP, Ms. Harmeet Dhillon.
Celeste invited me here earlier today, and I was pleased to accept this invitation. A little bit about me: I'm the San Francisco Republican Party chairman, elected for my second term, and I've been a long-time member of this body of the California Republican Party as a delegate, and a long-time Republican activist, starting at the age of 16 when I went to Dartmouth College, where I eventually became the editor-in-chief of the Dartmouth Review. There you may have heard of some of my predecessors: Dinesh D'Souza, who was a predecessor of mine in the Dartmouth Review, and Laura Ingram, who was a predecessor of mine in the Dartmouth Review, and also one of my classmates in law school at the University of Virginia. At Virginia, I was the president of the Federalist Society, some of you may have heard of as the conservative legal organization, and I clerked for a federal appeals court judge who was a conservative, and now is the chief judge of the Fourth Circuit, the most conservative circuit of the United States Courts of Appeals. Practice law now, it's my 20th year practicing law as a trial lawyer. I'm a business trial lawyer. I represent businesses and represent investors in California. I also do a lot of pro bono work for conservative causes. I do pro bono work as well for victims of domestic violence, refugees, and plaintiffs in civil rights litigation as well, mainly on religious liberties issues. I'm running to be the vice chair of the party because I was drafted, frankly, by former chairman of the party, Ron Nearing, and Sean Steele, who spoke in support of my nomination earlier today. They know my conservative activism in California for the past decade, and they believe that I have the skills and the tools that it takes to help our party turn itself around and attract the voters again that it needs to in order to continue to win and continue to improve the state. I also have the support of virtually every organization in the state that's chartered on the volunteer level. The California Young Republicans Federated endorsed me unanimously. The California Federation of Republican Women endorsed me overwhelmingly. I also have the support of the California Congress of Republicans, and yesterday I was pleased to get unanimous support of the 58 County Chairman Organization of the California County Chairmen's Association. And those endorsements are joined by the endorsements of virtually every Republican state legislator in the state of California, as well as Congressman Darrell Issa and Congressman Paul Cook. Endorsements are good and all very well, but I also have a 25-year track record of achievement in conservative organizations, including being the general counsel of my Young Republicans group, by being the general counsel of my Women's Federated Club, and by helping a lot of Republicans throughout the state. And the reason I mention my endorsements is that I'm proud to have the endorsements of people from across our party. I want us to focus on the following. Ronald Reagan built our party into a great party and a national movement and was able to attract Democrats and independent voters because he believed in the politics of addition and not the politics of subtraction. He believed in the politics of inclusion, and he believed in the 80-20 rule. If somebody believes in you and agrees with you 80% of the time, that's your friend. That's not your 20% enemy. We've forgotten that rule. There's been a lot of mudslinging in this campaign, quite frankly, and I think that the more that we try to shun people and ostracize people because they may not agree with us 100%, that's why we're at 29.3% registration in the state. And it's not going up if we continue that trend. It's going to continue to go down. If I'm elected your vice chair, I intend to implement a couple of things. I know that you've probably heard from Jim Brulty. He's got a great plan. I don't differ from it in any way. However, being a little younger and being from Silicon Valley, I believe that we can deploy and should deploy and must deploy technology to advance our cause. It's not any good anymore to pull out the ironing board from the back of the car and use that for voter registration. It's way past time that we embraced online registration and used our iPads and our iPhones to do those tasks. And it's foolish that we've been rejecting it, and we've got to turn that around immediately. We also need to take a page out of the playbook of the Obama successful 2 campaigns where they used data successfully to continue to reach out to and touch voters multiple times during each election cycle. And that is the job of the state party. We can have all the grassroots volunteers that we want, but every county committee cannot buy PDI and cannot buy those data files that we need. What we do need is a state party that's robust, that has the resources to deploy. And again, we do need donors for that. There's no substitute for money in politics. It is an inescapable tool. It's not sufficient to get us to win. We can see that from Meg Whitman, and we can see that from other failed big dollar campaigns, but it is a necessary component. And so I'm committed, and as I have done in my 2 races for office myself, as a member, as a candidate for the State Assembly and for the State Senate, and as the chairman of my county association, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I commit to doing that times 10 and times 20 if I'm elected as vice chair of the state party. Thank you for your consideration. hot pink jacket, you could find me anywhere. He has scotch and Indian food, our suite at 9 a.m.
That sounds good.